Ooh, okay. Okay. Ooh. Video available. Okay. Okay, guys. Welcome to Coffee with Greg. This is Dr. Greg McLeod from Elite Traders University. And I had a call that went a little bit longer, and my alarm didn't go off to stop it. But was talking to Charles, and Charles was asking, and he was inquiring about the service, about the ATU service. And so good to be with you here. Happy Friday. Coffee hour got a little bit late, but we're here. I hope you guys are doing well on this fantastic Friday, the 8th, the 8th of August, 8/8, a lucky day. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I know it's after hours in Europe. We still have a few hours left in the trading day here, about 4 hours left in the trading day here in the US, and looks like the stock market is doing its thing. On a high, we have the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 0.48%, 212 points to 44,181. Stocks tick higher as Wall Street looks to close out winning week. S&P 500 up 0.75%, 6,387.18, up 47 points. NASDAQ up almost a full percent, 21,430, went up 188.73 points. The Russell 2000 up 0.5%, 2,225.36. And we have the euro currency is hanging around there too. It's down slightly, one spot to 1,653, down a tenth of a percent. Dollar yen up almost 0.5%, 147.72. Cable is up 0.1%, one spot 3,442. Aussie dollar down 0.2% at 0 spot 6,524. Dollar CAD up slightly, 0.7%, one spot 3,753. So we got a little risk on rally going on right now. We're finishing out the Friday with a better, stocks ticking higher. Always wonder about Fridays. I call it Freaky Friday, where we didn't, if we're up on a Friday, I just wonder what's going to happen next week. Are we setting up for something next week? And uh, we have some trade deals coming out in the U.S. Uh, and that has helped. But the global stock market seemed to be numb to some of the reciprocal tariffs that have gone into effect. Gold futures just hit a record high too. Possibly U.S. tariffs could shake metal markets up further, but we look at the gold market. Gold is up at 34.89, up 1%. Silver is up also over 0.5%, 38.52. Copper also up 1.5%. So metal markets up. Everything is up. It's a great Friday. Great Friday to be alive. I hope you guys are doing great. And happy Cat Day. Today is a National Cat Day. And so if you have a cat, meow meow, happy cat. I really want to talk to you about yesterday I was trading the markets during our Asia session, and when it's hot here in Las Vegas or maybe in your part of the world, there was a big demand for energy, and that high demand for energy, whether it's air conditioning and and cooling, and people running all kinds of appliances, and they got people charging their cars now. So you have this big drain on the power grid, and sometimes you'll have blackouts, right? A blackout. And so we recently had a blackout. It happened after the show, which is good, but it's always good to make sure that you have a backup of some kind. Okay, for instance, I purchased an APC backup power block, right? I don't think that it's pretty heavy. It's a big thing. I can probably show you a picture of it, right? Um, and it's really helpful to have that because what happened was the power went out. I saw my living room lights go off in the house in the apartment, you know. However, I had my monitors, my laptop, and my Wi-Fi connection plugged in to this power backup. All right. And a power backup is basically like a car battery that they make look pretty in a box with plugs in it, right? Um, and so it was an APC. Yeah, it's a really cool device to have, and it's really worth it because if you're in the middle of a trade, you want to have continuous power, right? You want to be able to have that. You don't want to have your trades interrupted by not having a power backup. In fact, let me share my screen, share screen two, right? So yeah, APC. In fact, yeah. So my model is an old. This is the APC power backup. This is the exact same one I have, and I have my laptop plugged in. I have my monitors plugged in, and I have my Wi-Fi router plugged in there as well. And um, so that helped. I mean, where the power went out, and I didn't miss a beat because I have a couple hours of backup power, right? And so having that backup, and not only that, I also have my cell phone, and I tether. You can use the tethering feature in your phone to actually use this as a Wi-Fi hotspot, right? You can use that as a Wi-Fi hotspot as well. And sometimes when I'm trading, I'll already have the Wi-Fi set up, right? I already have the Wi-Fi set up, so in case there is a loss I've actually had the towers go out in my area and then losing internet connection. But since I had my backup on my phone kicked in, and I was able to continue trading and not be interrupted, right? And that's the key. I remember years ago having when cable internet first came out, and AT&T put it out in our area, and I was in the middle of a trade, and it was the cell phone. Back then the cell phone, rates were like 25 cents a minute or something like that, something tremendous. So it wasn't like you didn't have Wi-Fi on your phone, right? It was so basically I lost connection. When I lost connection, I lost money because I couldn't get out of the trade. We did. This was like circa 2000, around that time, right? So you really didn't have smartphones. So you didn't have you have to call your broker and say, look, I need to get out of this trade, right? By the time I was able to get through and talk to the desk, I was already in the hole and was unable to take cash out of my profit. In fact, it turned into a loss. So I actually called AT&T. I said, you know what? You guys suck. And I want, you went out, you took your system offline for service. I was trading the London market, so it's 3 a.m. But they said, well, we shut the system down for maintenance. And like going, shut it down for maintenance, but I'm using it, right? And so, well, this is not a commercial line. I go, that's I was really upset. I lost probably $300. So they were like, okay, the best we can do is to give you like a month of service, and service for the month was like 30 or $40. So it's like that's not gonna make up for it. But hey, it was it was a consolation prize. And so after being burned like that, I kind of learned my lesson that backup is really important. So having an APC, using a laptop as opposed to using a desktop, because a laptop has a built-in battery as well. So not only do I have the backup battery, but I also have the battery within the laptop to actually keep it powered up. But it won't power my router. So having my router plugged into something like this was very, very helpful too. And so if you're building your trading room, your trading desk, if you wanted to, if you're in the school group, pop a picture of your trading room. I'm going to put a post in there, share your trading setup, right? And I think having some type of a backup, and they have other ones that are more modern, that probably more features. I mean, this one has a few plugs. This one has a lot of plugs. I have everything. I even have my fan plugged into that. They say so it can get super hot. I want my fan to continue to have power as well. So that's something just to think about. Tell me in the chat box the below, do you have backup? Yes or no? And if you do, what kind of backup do you have? So what is your plan for backup? Right? Backup not only just backing up I have a backup laptop, right? I also have, my phone that I can trade off of. Make sure you have your phone, your MetaQuotes or whatever set up as well. Um, Also having a backup broker. Sometimes brokers may go down, not often, but having multiple brokers is a diversifier of brokers. Like I use Ox, and if you want to know more about that, I can give you the link to that as well. You want to be able to have diversification, not have all your eggs. The whole thing is don't have all your eggs in one basket, because if you do, you get that basket gets crushed and then you have an issue, right? So you want to have uh, multiple brokers, multiple prop accounts, and also multiple, computer systems. This having a backup, right? And checking your backups periodically to make sure that they are working as well. That's also very important, because you don't want to basically have your I have backup computer I had in the box, right? And that if you have in a box, what's going to happen is you are going to have yeah, it has to start up, right? It has to, get connected to the internet. It has all this bloatware. So don't just have a new computer in the box. Make sure that you turn it on periodically so it can have the updates, the patches, and things like that. So your computer's actually ready. So Ken, shame on you. No backup, Sean. I always keep backup laptops and cell phones standing by. That's awesome. And Ken's no backup. And Sean said, I have a house generator. Ooh, nice. You get the solar powered one? Nick, no backup, but after listening to you, I think it's worth investing in. Yeah. Yeah. Any type of, and you can find them at the Office Depot or Best Buy. You can get them, and they're just basically big batteries with plugs in them, right? And you know, and that blackout yesterday was nice. I'm like going, I saw everybody wink out everywhere, and I looked and I'm sitting here in my station with my ring light and everything here. My ceiling fan went off, and I knew we had blackout, and my microwave and everything went off. But the little station, little base here, hey baby, yeah, I'm ready, baby. I'm ready for your blackout. Now, um, so having another layer, and I know like when I talked to Bill has a fiber connection as well, an alternative connection. So those are other things that you can have, because you just don't want to be caught with the market's already uncertain as it is. And there was a story about after the '87 earthquake. In '87, I was at Bank of America during the earthquake, and and the earthquake knocked out all the all the communication. The Pacific Stock Exchange was in effect back then. So all the guys that were in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, they didn't have any access to the markets, right? Via telephone lines and things that were down. Except for this, I think it was Dalio. I think it was him. They have a it was a guy. It's the hedge fund that's in a house. It's a big house in San Francisco or in the Bay Area, and they basically made that house into a trading office, right? And maybe you've seen some documentaries on it, but they have satellite on the roof, okay, and that satellite still gave them connections to the market, right? They had a satellite, and so when the earthquake hit and all communication got shut down, they actually had enough bandwidth they were actually you know, they were like feeding out prices to everybody from, they became a hub. They became, because everybody like, hey, what's the price of this? Because we don't have any, we're blind, No, I mean, so 80 said this was before the internet. He's like, well, why are people just going to this guy? Because we didn't have the internet, in which everybody's phone is a connection, right? Anybody's phone is a connection. But in 87, no one had very few people, only the super rich, and they weren't that good. They weren't like smartphones with all kinds of data. So if you hit something, you're in the dark. So this one company had a satellite dish, and they invested in it. Like, why do you need that? That's an extra cost. Well, you'll see, right? No one will. Well, why you want to buy this for? Like, why brought this thing home? You get the wife going, why did you bring home that thing? That thing's ugly. When everything is dark, you'll be glad I got it, right? I think I'm dying. It started shaking 3 days ago. I can't stop. Backup isn't my priority, but it should have been. I used to have a DTN dish. Yeah, DTN. I remember hearing about that. Man, take care of yourself, Ken. Be healed in Jesus' name, right? Yeah, the different types of things happen, and just like we use a stop. Another backup is having a stop. When you don't have a stop, you have unlimited liability, right? And so we don't want to have that either. Okay. Um, so what's going on? Anybody have a question? You have any question? I'm gonna open the Q&A. I was hoping that maybe Jamie might come on. He probably didn't know I'm on kind of late, but let's see if I can find Jamie if he's around. He's always got something to talk about. But if you have any questions about something, yeah, exactly, Ken. You have a phone, and that is a backup, because you can get prices, you can trade on it, right? Make sure it's charged up, and also a backup to the charger, right? I have one of these charging boxes, those little generators. I don't have like the big one like maybe Sean has, but it's like a big, kind of like a little, like, it looks like a little boom box, and it can hold a charge for like 3 or 4 hours, right? Enough to get you out of a trade, and you know, like and keep and not have your trading interrupted, right? Hey, you. Oh no, that's not it. Hold on. Ooh, copyright. Like, that is it. Yeah. Okay. So we can take a look at the let's see, stop sharing here. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions about the market, anything that you're looking at. If you want to look at the news for next week, we're going to open up Q&A. And let me go ahead and I trade Orlando on my phone when I go to the beach. Okay. Yeah, I love trading by the beach. I mean, I traded in Maui, I traded with Ox. You know, I love my high leverage 500 to 1. Uh love my no FIFO, and and being able to hedge if I wanted to, but also just being able to be at the beach. That's the and trading by the water. There's something natural about connecting the water and the beach and trading. It's like this just don't drop your laptop or your phone in the water, you know. But I think there's a video of me standing in the water for laptop trading, right? But I'm trying to pull up. Okay. So let me know if you have anything that you'd like to eh, look at. Look at Bitcoin or gold. Even backup, even backup places to live, right? In case the wealthy have not just one house, but more than one house. I have a couple of houses in Texas. I have a place here in Vegas, building another one here in Vegas, but still working on getting to back to Maui, and so being able to find having a backup place to go in case things go a different way, right? Whether it's a bunker or an island, or having or just to avoid certain weather, right? You have maybe like it gets really hot in here in Vegas, I've discovered. But I tell you what, 9 months out of the year, it's beautiful here, right? The other 3 months sounds like Hawaii time, right? So having a backup place to live, especially if the political climate is not to your liking, I'm not talking about red or blue, but whatever, if you don't like this, you always have a backup, right? Or if it changes, you have some place to go, right? I think just having a diversity of places to live. I think uh, I used to work for a place called Sovereign Society, and I used to do some analysis and things with Sovereign Society. And basically, they talk about being the sovereign man and being a man, or being an individual without borders. You're not really bound by a country. You're not bound by um, a city or a town. You're able to go anywhere in the world and live anywhere in the world, and basically have that kind of freedom. Um, because you have the means, especially with trading, you have that opportunity to be able to trade anywhere. I talked to my students, Jay Lee. Jay Lee lives in Las Vegas, and he this week he took me out to dinner. He took me to this fabulous place. Um, it's uh, it's a vegan Chinese place, and that they are kind of, they have this art where they can take soybean and tofu and make it taste like meat. They have beef, they have fish, but they don't serve beef or fish. They are able to create that stuff. So big shout out to Jay Lee, and he was telling me how he wanted options to actually move to. He was looking at Paraguay. Paraguay is a place to live. We have like Jeff, who's moved out to Dominican Republic, right? We have Uwe Becker. He's over there. He's in Costa Rica. So we have the number of traders who are, hey, and I know John was looking at moving to China, or Hong Kong. So we have traders. Gerald moved over to, he went to Thailand as well. So we've got a number of people who have moved to out of the country, because when you come to those countries, they don't want, just like we don't want people coming in here undocumented, taking up jobs. Well, and then people complain about it. But guess what? You go to Mexico or some of these Latin American countries, and if you come there and you try to take a local job, they're going to deny your visa, right? If you come there, you come there with what? Proof of retirement income. If you're retiring on your Social Security check, you can have a visa based on your Social Security check, or if you have some type of other income, or you're working abroad. You're not taking a local job, right? So other countries have rules where if you go there, you cannot go there and look for a job, right? And Nick goes, yeah, that's what I like the most about trading is mobility, Nick. Yeah, right on, Nick. Yeah, the ability to go anywhere. In fact, I've got a couple of guys who are self-funded missionaries that they go into countries, and if you're a missionary and you're preaching the gospel, you can't pass the offering plate around. You're gonna get a coconut, maybe a banana leaf or something. You gotta bring money or resources there. And now the guy, you take his phone, do a trade, and he's funding water wells in the Dominican Republic. Or I have a guy building a school. I have people they're self-funded missionaries where they're not putting out, hey, please contribute to me and help me out, which is fine. But if you learn how to trade, learn a skill, right? Like Apostle Paul had a skill. He was a tent maker, right? All the people that followed Jesus were professionals. Peter was a fisherman. Luke was a doctor, right? You have these other, you have the different apostles who were different. They had jobs and they had or a profession, and they made money. And so being able to be, I know Nick is of the cloth, he's ordination, and and being able to say, look, you could you trade, you make money, and then you can use that money to do good, right? And to help people. It's not just like, oh, you're greedy and you're buying all these Lambos. No, I'm not buying Lambos. I'm looking. I'm going to look at some Lambos, but that's not my point. The point is, if it's hard to help people when you don't have any money yourself, right? And so, and just getting enough for you and yours. When you have extra, you can afford to give to others, right? Ken, Panama is like that. Yeah. Being a traveling expat. Sean says being a traveling expat. Yeah. And that's always been the dream. I mean, I wrote that dream card. I don't think I have it. It was like I wrote down my dream. My dream was like, Bahamas, having this multi-million-dollar trading company. I wrote that back in like 2001 or something like that. So it was like 2025. And so starting to seeing that come to fruition now, and being able to help people like with this. We have the summer camp, and the pastor had a vision. He goes, I want all the kids to go to summer camp, and I don't, if they can't afford to pay, I want them to go. And so who's with me? And I was able to write a check, and be able to do that. I was able to, I'm not bragging myself, but I put myself in a position to be able to help others, right? And people say, well, tax the rich, tax the rich. No, it's like let everyone become rich and let everyone help each other out, right? And help the others, people who need, but I don't want the government taking it from me to do that, right? So that, and Ken, well, Ken, we got the right system, right? There's a lot of people, there's a lot of guys who can throw a football deep. They can run patterns. They're really great players, but they're not professional, right? And that's the whole key, taking that skill set that you have. Because I know, Ken, I know you say I don't make money, but bro, you took a demo account to $2 million, right? And I'll always remember that. I remember all those winning trades you had. It's just a matter of applying that, taking that, getting past your mental blocks. I don't mean to be opening up your laundry, but I know that you're a great trader, Ken. I seen it. We just need to take that, what you can do, what you did for fun trading, and apply it to real life trading. Cross that barrier, and your whole life changes, right? Your whole life changes, and we know that. We've been around about that for a few years now, right? But yeah, because Yeah, so that's then that's one of the crossovers that Jamie and I would talk about this, and I know he's probably busy, but we had talked about that. This is actually a good topic to talk about, is crossing over from demo to live, right? Being able to cross over from demo to live, and and it's a psychological barrier. It's like, hey, you do so well, but there's internal blocks to us doing that, being able to move from that, you know. And so I know in the Pip and Run, the Elite Trainers University, we have a four stage process, and the whole the purpose of that four stage process is to make that transition from demo to live as smooth as possible, right? By building confidence in the stage one with the simulation. The simulation, we have a simulating software that we give our students, and they practice, and they have the whole goal is to have a low drawdown of 5%, and to have 14 days consecutively, or on average 14 days on average, of 90% and above win rate. Okay, 90% and above win rate. And so we have had students move through this process and achieve that goal, that milestone. And the whole purpose of that milestone is to establish a marker in one's mind, their consciousness, to build that confidence and that assurity and that belief in the system. The system is an 85-90% win rate system. So the whole idea is to build your confidence in the system. It's like the Ferrari goes 300 miles an hour, right? But if you crash it, then it doesn't go anywhere, right? So the whole idea is to give you that confidence to build on, and then transition to stage two. We give you a certificate. We actually have you record a video describing what you can do, so you can talk to your subconscious mind and say, look, I've made 90% or 92% or 93% over 14 days on average with a drawdown under 5%, and I have a certificate. And you take a selfie with your certificate, right? That built in your mind a certain degree of consciousness. You're feeling good about yourself. You feel confident, right? You feel like you could do anything, right? And so it builds you up, right? You build unconscious competency through spaced repetition, right? And then stage two, you go into a demo account, right? Before, you had control of the time, how fast the market moves, but now you're in stage two. Stage two is that now you go to a demo account. You already know the patterns, you know the Pip and Run system by heart, you know how to execute trades, but now you have to deal with waiting for the pattern, looking for the right opportunity, using risk management, dealing with news and a sudden market volatility. So now we're going a little bit deeper in the water. We went from the boot camp, the training camp, to the actual minor leagues. We're in the minor league, okay? We're not professionally, we're in the minor leagues, you know? So we're taking a $10,000 demo account, right? And now, and you might blow it up, you might blow up a couple of them, but then, hey, the whole goal is to double that account with a drawdown under 5%, okay? And I make it under 5% for a reason, because when you go to prop, it's 8%, 6 to 8%. And if you're at 5% in demo and 5% drawdown in simulation, you've really raised the bar. So when you get in there, oh, this is kind of easy, right? And you'll see in the examples I'll tell you later how easy it is for our people to pass those prop challenges as a result of going through this four-stage process, right? So after they double that account, they take that 10,000 to over 20,000. In fact, Jamie took an account from 10,000 to over 69,000 for like a 496% return, right? And he did that in one day of trading. They did 380 trades with like one loss. And it's a phenomenal feat. And you probably said, no, that sounds like a bunch of BS, Greg. Sounds like a scam, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give you the link. I'm going to pop it right in the chat box. Go ahead and look at that. Click that link and you can see what his results were, right? That's MyEthics book. It's not my product. It's a third party company that verifies track records. Jamie's record is verified using Pip and Run. He did that. So click that link and tell me what you think about that, right? As I talk about stage 2, right? You double, and when you're able to double that account with a 5% drawdown, with now his drawdown was a little higher because he passed the first day, but he kept trading and his drawdown went down to 16%, right? But still, when he did it, he had a 1.08% drawdown after the first day, which is huge. 470 something percent with a 1% drawdown, unheard of, right? So you go to stage 3. Now you're going to do another video, right? You're going to talk to the camera and talk and tell what you can do in stage 2 that you couldn't do in stage 1, right? That you're trading in the live market, taking demo money, but you made 100% return or over 100% return on that money, right? And not only that, you're able to use the Pip and Run system to do that. And so now you have this great confidence, right? So we're building another level. We're building the foundation, which was simulation, another level, which is the demo, right? And now we're going to make that transition from demo to live. We don't want to go super big on the live account, right? We don't want you putting like 20,000 or 5,000 or even $1,000 in the account. We want to put like $100 in that account or $300 in that account, okay? You put $300 in, hey, you're going to feel the pain if you lose, but it's not going to bankrupt you, right? It's not going to throw you under the bus. If it does, you need to get a job, but I'm saying like even a $50 account, a $100 account, right? You get like a $100 account, right? And you guys have seen it. I've taken $200 accounts and raptured them up to $4,000, $5,000 off of a $200 account, right? And the whole idea still is to have a greater than 80% win rate, drawdown no more than 5%, right? And so we've had people double their Social Security checks, right? Derek doubled his Social Security check, and he did twice. Put his whole check in and he doubled it, right? And you've seen me taking the $200 challenges and making like $5,000, right? So you've done that, okay? And so people have passed stage 3. Some people are still in stage 3 because they blow up, they get too large, right? Their position sizes are too large, they're using too much leverage, or they're trading instruments like Bitcoin or something, which are like really too volatile for a small account. And you need like something like the euro or the Aussie, something, you want to get 5-10 pips. You're just getting base hits, right? You're just hitting some base hits, right? And those base hits stack up. We can make $4 here and $5 here and $10 there. And it doesn't take that long. 10 pippers and you made $100, right? You've doubled the account, right? On a 0.10 lot. So it's very so that now you're in the deeper water. That's the game. Okay. We went from the minor league. The minor league was the demo account, right? Now you're playing the game, right? You're in the pros. You're a professional. When a athlete takes money and gets paid for performing, he is called a professional. If he is like before he had collegiates, or they were amateurs. Amateurs don't get paid, right? They're playing for fun or they're playing for their school, right? The moment you start using real money, you're in the pros, right? So you're playing the pro game, right? You went through boot camp, you went through training camp, you went through that. Now you're in the pros. Now you pass the pros. Now we're going to go to the championship, okay? The championship is prop trading, okay? After stage 3 finishes, what you're going to do? You're going to record a video. Hi, my name is Bob, and I passed stage 3. I doubled my $500 account. I took it to $1,000 with a drawdown of 5% and a win rate of 85%. Now I am ready for prop trading, right? You've been through simulation, you went through demo, you went through small live. So you've got a stack of, you have experience, you have seat time, experience, you have a high win rate system, you have the support of the community at Pip and Run and Elite Traders University. You have me, a 30-year Wall Street veteran who worked at one of the largest forex broker dealers in the world. I worked actually at three large forex broker dealers as well as Bank of America. I worked at Pepperstone too. And so you're not alone, right? You've got, and I have a lifetime teaching credential from the state of California. And, I'm licensed to teach. So I know how to teach. I've taught for years in public education. I have a PhD in Christian leadership and Christian business. So you don't have some rank amateur by your side. You have a 30-year veteran, a Wall Street insider who was a Wall Street currency analyst and strategist at one of the top tier firms. And so that's why it's called Elite Trading University. We are elite. And so now you are ready to go. In fact, I have prop trading companies writing me all the time. Can you send us your Pip and Run traders? Why? Because we do volume. The volume that our traders do. We do like $500 million in volume a month because of the number of trades that we can take, right? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trades, right? Thousands of trades in and out making money, right? In fact, we take too many trades, I think. I think we need to tone it down. We have Jamie will take like 75 trades and he'll just totally make this thing totally hot, right? So it's very important that you that when you're plugged into the system, you're gonna be plugged into our partners who are looking for traders that are Pip and Run traders that are trained by me, trained through our system. And Pip and Run is a proprietary system. It's not like ICT or order blocks or supply and demand zones, where it's everywhere. This was invented by me through prayer and fasting before the Lord. He gave it to me from the Matthew chapter 25, verse 16, the parable of the talents. And when I had my back against the wall, he told me he'd take a guy could take 5, he traded me 5 more. A guy who took 3 and he traded, got 3 more, right? Or 2 more. And the guy who had 1, he just buried it, and then he was cast out. And they took the one who had 1 and gave it to the one who had 10, right? That's redistribution, right? So, are you the one that just buried your talent, or are you the one that's ready to trade up, right? Because when you invest in yourself and you invest in Elite Traders University, you are investing in yourself. Because guess what? I don't need your money. I don't need your money. If you get another dime from Elite Traders University, it doesn't really matter. You need to do it for you, because when you do it, you are able to invest in yourself, and you'll make much more than I could ever charge you. I remember going with Mark Douglas was my mentor. It took all the money I had, and but it was worth every penny of it. Mark Douglas was the best mentor ever, and he passed away recently, 2015. So no one can ever be trained by him. His knowledge, his expertise, his talent, you could probably get it from a book or an old video, but I actually worked with the man. And so that's the investment I made in myself. And I've reaped benefits. I've made so much more money than you'll always make more money than I can ever charge you. If I charge you $100,000 and I've got a guy that made like 8.9 million, you know what? My wife's like going, he made that much money and all you charged him was $15,000. Like going, it really doesn't matter. We exchanged value. He valued my teaching. He invested in it. And so there he is. And we're running a special right now. And not 15,000, but we're maybe doing a third of that, and we have a payment plan involved as well. And so, in fact, I have Jeff here, and then one of my top students, Face of 12. You go, bro. What did you trade today, right? But Yeah, make sure and Shivraj Danji, fantastic marketing expert and admin in our community. And you click that link, school elite traders. We have lots of free stuff for you. In fact, let me go ahead and share with you. You know, you come over to school, maybe you're not ready for a full mentorship, right? But you want to find out who's this Greg McLeod? You know, what's this guy all about? Well, if you want a sample, okay, I love Costco. You know, I love going to get the meatballs or the wings, you know. And then why do they give that to you? Why are they giving? Do they feel sorry for you, or they try to feed the homeless? Are they trying to solve world hunger by giving you a meatball? No, they're trying to introduce you to the bag of meatballs, the bag of wings, right? So we have a school community with lots of meatballs, lots of great trading. You know, we have a full-on community here. We have a classroom full of videos of educational stuff. If you're brand new to trading, you know, I don't know what this Forex stuff is. We have baby Forex pips. We have 16 videos, all of them really short. They're like a minute, 14 seconds long. There's like multiplication rock or grammar rock, schoolhouse rock. You know, schoolhouse rock was short, but you remember a bunch of stuff, right? Schoolhouse Rock was very very not very long, right? So we try to get yourself going here with this with these videos to help you, right? I'm trying to help people. I'm not trying to scam people. I'm trying to help you, right? I got the Forex. After you go for the baby pips, you have Forex Foundations, the next level, and we have the freshman level. There are 4 levels: as freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior, right? And the other are in our higher tier. But we have the risk management, understanding margin. These are the things that you need to know as a trader. And I'm giving you those things for you to watch, right? And even if you are a seasoned veteran, you can go over it. I created these videos myself, right? And then we have a strategy from one of our top traders. If you like opening range breakout, well, guess what? After you learn the foundation, the basics of trading, we give you a trading system, the opening range breakout. We call the samurai sword, taught by one of my top students, Svetlana. And she's Russian, and she created these videos. I take my top traders and I have them make a course because, hey, they have a unique interpretation of pip and run, and I let them create a course. So we created the course here. We included it with you, right? The Samurai Asia session the opening range breakout, which you can use for London session, how to set up indicators in MetaTrader, turbocharge of my market heat map, and advanced strategies too, right? So you get all that. I mean, it's absolutely free. Plus, we give you what broker we use and all kinds of resources here, right? Our community, our sources, and now if you upgrade to the paid version, the VIP, the VIP allows you to have access to our live trading session. That's our Asia session. We trade from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern time, right? And then also we're going to have our live event, which we have right now, Coffee with Greg, right? I put this out here on YouTube so you guys can see it, but ordinarily this is just reserved for our VIP and school group community. So, and we have lots of resources here. There's more advanced videos here. We have the Winner's Circle mindset training course taught by our resident hypnotherapist, licensed hypnotherapist, Hal Weinshank. We have our mindset, trader's mind, the master trading mindset, the abundance mindset, and the abundance mindset bonus sessions. All those are taught by him in our Winner's Circle mindset trading here. You get that. You also get the Dragon Slayer course. Really didn't want to include this. This is our $25,000 course, so we included that, which was taught by Marco. Marco was our trader that actually took $300,000. He turned it into $78 million. I said, bro, you got to make a course around what you do with Pip and Run. And that's what he did. 5 modules, trading pound yen. So that's, again, a $97. You get that for $97 a month. You have access to that. Then we have our the 4 modules for the Forex Foundation, the Forex Foundation freshman course, the sophomore course, which shows how to use different indicators, how to trade economic news, how to trade with candlesticks, and there's 81 videos that are included in this set right here. 81 videos in this 4-volume set. The freshman, the sophomore, the junior, again, it's more videos, more education that you could possibly, the value you get at $97. This was a $4,000 course, and we're including that all for just $97 access, right? So, I mean, that is a powerful gift just for $97 a month. Plus, you have live trading with me 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, plus the Coffee with Greg, where you can Q&A, that you can ask me questions. We also have a Q&A. We're going to have a Q&A on the Asia session just beforehand, so you can actually go over trades, go over setups, right? And so that's going to be a powerful tool. You also get access to the My Market Heat Map, the arrangement of currency pairs by percentage change. What's popping, what's hopping, what's dropping in the market. It's my powerful top secret tool. You can actually access one of our heat maps for free right on the front page, mymarketheatmap.com. Dollar yen, top spot, it's green, green's up, red's down, gray stay away. Real simple stuff. Plus, you have a built-in economic calendar down here as well. Again, you can access this now for actually absolutely free. My Market Heat Map. Just refresh, click Show More, and you have this full-blown calendar telling you the economic events that are coming up, their impact, actual versus forecast, the previous, the flags. You know how I love looking at the flags to tell me what to trade. And we log in, you have a full-featured tool, My Market Heat Map. We have Equity Index Heat Map, tells you what the indices are doing, right? We have our indices, right? We also have the commodities heat map, right? We also have our Forex majors and crypto. Again, this is something I created many years ago with the help of my developers. We had one back in the brokerage. In fact, we had one on a Bloomberg terminal. Bloomberg terminal is like a $25,000 terminal, and I always use the heat map part of that. And I recommend our brokerage to. I said, we've been winning a lot of trades using the heat map. We should have it. They go, no, we don't want to do that, Greg. It's like going, well, why? Why do I want to help people, right? So, so there we go. All instrument heat map. We have all the instruments, global stocks, indices, commodities, all on a single map. Tells you what's moving down, and what's moving up, right? And plus, there's charts, quotes, economic calendar, Forex TV, financial news stream, market hours, technical analysis indicator, national holidays, sentiment. I love sentiment. Tells like where the dumb money is, who's long, who's short, right? Like how many people are long? A lot of people are long CAD yen, right? We can look at that and use that for our trading as well, almost like the COT. Anyway, there's so much value in this package that, it's almost, and if you have a trading business, you can even write it off, right? And the great thing that's coming is the Forex Pro, our high ticket coaching program. That's the Pip and Run program that's here as well. And so we have all this that's coming for you, right? So anyway, with that said, I don't see any questions about the markets. You guys are probably pretty smart, right? Most of you guys I know. I love you guys. I wish you all the best. I pray for you all the time. I pray for your success. I pray for your prosperity, abundance, your healing. That all of us are, will be rich together on the beach, sitting in the DR with Jeff, hanging out, just like in the end of Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Winthrop, right? Anyway, guys, peace and pips. Have a great week.